talking about some crazy AI SEO case studies, and I can't wait to show you the proof. Now, picture this: brand new domain, zero authority, 0 clicks a day, and 90 days later, it's generating thousands of clicks and free traffic. I'll show you in a minute exactly what I mean, and we've got 3 different case studies along the way. And the best part is this is repeatable, it's predictable, and it's very easy to do with AI. Today, I'm going to show you 3 different AI SEO case studies with URLs and Google Search Console proof, plus the whole process. And I've got the URLs to prove it, real websites, real results. Now, none of this is SEO nonsense from agencies who, we know who they are. We're not going to say any names, but they don't do SEO for their own websites. And let's be honest, there's nothing worse than that. So this is also live as well, so that you can ask any questions as we go along. And from there, I'm going to get straight into this bad boy and show you exactly what I'm talking about with the Goldie SEO framework, which is how to turn your website into AI SEO gold, my friends. So here's the 3 case studies. I'm calling them the Midas Touch case studies, as you can see right here. And we built them using the Goldie SEO framework to turn your site into AI SEO gold. Helene says hello. And Lily says, hey, super excited for this one. Can't wait to show you this. So we've got 3 different case studies, as you can see right here. We'll just kick off with the first one, which was a DR0, and it went from 0 clicks a day to 76 clicks a day in 90 days. And if you have questions as we go along, feel free to ask them. You can see an example right here. So as I said, this was down at 1 click a day, and now it is getting, let's have a look on the old Search Console. So now it's getting nearly 90 clicks a day, as you can see right here. If we go into the full report, you can see the full traffic chart. You can see it's growing over time. It's at 76 clicks a day. And that is for the website outlookassist.com. Now, no backlinks have been built for this website. I'm going to talk you through the whole process and the framework in a minute. Helene says Goldie SEO framework equals gold. That's what we're talking about. And Andika says, thank you for inspiring me. Happy to help you. And I'm glad this is inspiring you. That's what it's all about. I'll come on to that later. And if we open up Ahrefs right here, I'll run you through exactly what this website is ranking for. So one of the first things I want to tell you, right, and most people don't understand this, is that the traffic estimates from Ahrefs are way, way off, especially for new websites, right? It's just one of those things. You can't, it's probably the best SEO tool out there, but it's not that accurate when it comes to estimating traffic on new websites. So you can see, for example, this website gets 76 clicks a day sometimes, whereas on Ahrefs, it gets 78 clicks, well, 78 traffic in total, right? So big difference right there, but you can see it's a DR0 website. It's ranking for 870 keywords. It's gone from literally nothing, so 0 clicks a day back in May, to 76 clicks a day on SEO. Let me pull up the next example. So here's the next example, and I'll run you through how we created them, what we used, etc. in a minute. So you can see this website went from 0 clicks a day. As you can see, this is adeptinslides.com, and it grew to 66 clicks a day. Now, I would not just be excited about the actual traffic that it's getting, which is amazing, that's great, but let's be honest, it's the trajectory that this website is going on, because it's increasing over time, which is absolutely amazing. It's literally going to the moon, as you could say. And so, again, you can see the traffic. Again, the estimates on Ahrefs are quite off, but I understand it's a new site. So you can see it estimates 217 traffic right there, whereas you can see it's had thousands of clicks already to this website. So it's literally gone from 0 clicks back on May the 25th to thousands of clicks with AI SEO. Pretty nice if you ask me. Let's move on to the next one. So this is another example. I'm going to pull up this example right here. So, and I'm showing you all the URLs. Most people won't show you this, let alone 3 different AI SEO case studies. But you can see this is oiltherapycentral.com. And again, it has grown from 2 clicks a day all the way up to a peak of 38 clicks a day, right? And that's growing over time as well. One of the best things about this is that you can see this was a brand new domain. It wasn't an expired domain. There wasn't like tons of backlinks going to the page. But as you can see, and I hope this inspires you, is that you can create a new website and you can get results quickly and you can generate more and more traffic with AI SEO over time. And I think that's the case study people have been waiting for, because, after March the 5th and that whole situation, a lot of people felt disillusioned with SEO. But as you can see, SEO is working better than ever if you have the right strategies, which is what I'm going to come on to next. So we've run through the Midas Touch case studies. Again, all of these sites were DR0. One thing that I would say on this is if we did build backlinks, and I wanted to make sure this was a DR0 case study, simply because then I can prove to you that you don't need to invest loads of backlinks to get good results. But if you do invest backlinks, as you can see with this DR48 website, this is for juliangoldie.co.uk, you can see the traffic accelerates even faster when you do this. So when you combine everything that I'm talking about, you can get even better results. And with that, we're going to get straight into the methods that we used and exactly how it works, right? So the Goldie SEO framework is about turning your site into SEO gold, as you can imagine. And this is the 24-carat process, right? I want to talk you through each stage in a minute, but it works in 6 different steps, as you can see right here for each of these websites. So if you want to emulate the same process and strategy that's worked for me, I'll walk you through all the tools, all the processes, how it works, all the strategies, etc. Plus, I'm going to give you access to the SOP from today, so that if you do want to just steal it from me, you can steal it from me, right? And so you can see the results right here, here, and here. 3 different case studies, all going to the moon, and it's pretty nice if you ask me. So from here, and by the way, this is live, so if you have questions, feel free to ask them as we go along. But from here, what the first part of the process is just launching a brand new domain, right? So we don't use expired domains. We're not using domains with a history. And I've found that particularly over the last sort of 12 to 16 months, new domains rank better than expired domains from my own personal experience. I've bought expired domains, didn't really see great results. When I use brand new domains, which are cheaper, easier, and faster, you can launch one today, they seem to get better results when it comes to SEO. And you can see not just the number of clicks increasing over time, but also the amount of impressions, right? So that is stage number 1 when it comes to this process. Launch a brand new domain. You do not need backlinks for that. Anyone can do that. If you want a really cheap place to do that, and again, I'm not promoting any affiliate links inside this video. So, you'll see in the description, there's no affiliate links or anything like that. I'm just doing this to help you. But you can see if you go to a website called Cosmotown, you can see that you can actually buy websites for super cheap, right? So for example, let's say you wanted to start a website in the Outlook industry, or let's say you wanted to do one in the PowerPoint industry, right? Like Adept in Slides. We could go onto Cosmotown, we can put in PowerPoint slides, something like that, and we can find domains. Just be careful when you buy domains with like copyright. Obviously, you have to be careful using brand names and all that sort of thing. So do your own research there. But you can see how cheap it is to launch a domain. Usually the best domains are .com, so just find a variation of that. If you're struggling with that, then you can use something like ChatGPT to just give you a bunch of ideas, right? So you can go into ChatGPT and you can be like, give me a cheeky domain name for my website in the PowerPoint niche, right? Short plus catchy, something like that. And it will just give you a bunch of ideas like slidesavvy.com. Let's go on to Cosmotown. We'll plug that into Cosmotown. We'll see what's available. And you can see a bunch of ideas right there, right? Or, PowerPoint slidesavvy.com. You can get a bunch of ideas, right? And so that's basically how it goes. If you can't find anything, then you can just do more. You can ask for like 20 or 30 ideas from ChatGPT, but that's essentially how you can quickly do this, right? So Frank says, set up a domain for each service. So you would set up a new domain for every niche that you want to rank in, right? So for example, if you look at this, let's look at adeptinslides.com. Adeptinslides.com is a website in the PowerPoint industry, right? And so what you can do is you would set up a website just for that one niche. That's basically what the name of the game is here, right? Lily says, how about domains registered 5 years back but never used? Would they also perform better? I would genuinely say that, yeah, I mean, like if you've never used them, I think it's the same, right? It's kind of like you're just starting from scratch. It might even be easier because it's got a bit of domain history. But the main thing is you can rank with a brand new domain, and usually these are the cheapest. Valid Printable says nobody speaks on fresh domains. This is about to go wild. That's the other thing I've seen is like, number 1, no one shows you URLs. Number 2, no one, especially after March the 5th, no one shows you public AI SEO case studies, but we're doing this to help you, right? The team at the tool that I use, and I'll come on to that in a minute, the team at the tool I use didn't want me to show this stuff, but I wanted to share it with you who are watching so that you can see what's going on behind the scenes, right? And that's why we've sort of delayed showcasing these projects straight away because, of March the 5th, obviously SEO influencers, they usually get their websites shut down when it comes to public experiments. Something like that might happen again, but I want to get that value out there and just show you that actually something works, right? And also this saves you a lot of money, because if you know you can rank on a new domain and that domain only costs $7, not like $500 or $1,000, then you save a lot of money along the way. Jason says, what is up? Yeah, on something different this morning, fresh domains. Absolutely. We're all about the fresh domains today. So we'll keep going through the whole process, right? So you're going to launch a brand new domain. Now, when it comes to hosting, usually if I've got multiple domains, I'm going to store them on something like Easy Blog Networks, simply because when it comes to Easy Blog Networks, it hides the IP address, it hides the hosting, it makes everything easier, right? You don't have to do that, but that's what works for me. And that's the process that helps me hide footprints between websites. Then from there, once you've set up the website, you would mine for gold, right? This is a 24-karat process after all, in the Goldie SEO framework, right? When it comes to mining for gold, you just want to find unique, high volume question keywords that you can easily rank for. How do you do that? Well, what you can do, if you want a really quick and easy way to do it, you can just go onto Keyword Explorer. You can type in your niche. Let's put, for example, I don't know, presentations, something like that. As an example of the other case studies that we showed before, we can go into the question section. We can filter down by, say, we're going to go down to KD 10 or less. So low keyword difficulty, and then we can find a bunch of easy keywords that we can rank for. You could potentially as well just create a topical map. I've shown other ways to do that, but yeah, pretty easy stuff right there. And John Ferris says fresh domains that connect with the content. Absolutely, that's it. So for example, if you're in the presentation niche, then you would create a website with a name that is related to the question niche. But that's essentially how it goes step by step. Okay. And so far, just to recap, you launch a new domain, then you're going to find really easy keywords to go for. Ideally, they've got a high traffic volume. Now, if we go back to some of those case studies that we talked about earlier, like let's take a look at this one, which is outlookassist.com. If we go into their dashboard, we'll just see what sort of keywords they're going for, right? So if we go into Outlook Assist, we can go into the keyword section and we can just find a bunch of high traffic keywords like this, right? And so for example, you can see a bunch of ideas. Bear in mind, you're going to rank for like more than one keyword because you're really going after the topic, not just the keyword or the question. But that's essentially how it goes. Just find low KD difficulty keywords that you can easily rank for using this process. AI content works really well for questions. So for example, if you go onto Google, I don't know if it's going to pull up an AI overview. Maybe we'll put something like what is SEO? Maybe it will show something for that. Yeah, so you can see even Google use AI to answer questions. That's how good and powerful it is, right? So for example, you can see if we put in what is SEO into Google, this is why questions work so well for AI content, is because even Google trusts it. Even Google prioritizes AI content over actual websites for answering the question. So for example, this AI content right here from Google inside AI overviews is considered more important and higher up the page than the actual links to search engine land and everything else below, right? And so not only does Google trust AI content, but it also ranks. So you can see it ranks over time, and even Google uses AI content to answer questions inside Google. So that's how powerful and useful it is. Now, once you've done that, once you've found your bunch of keywords, the tool that we used from there was basically auto blogging AI, right? And I'm going to come on to auto blogging. So let me just show my screen and I'll show you exactly what I mean and how it works. Lily says, Julian gives the best ROI out there, better than buying real estate. Happy to help. Thank you very much. And that's super kind. I appreciate you, Lily. Lily is a member of our community as well inside the SEO boardroom. If you haven't checked that out, definitely check it out. Now, from here, if you want to create your content, what I would probably find is the most useful is bulk generate mode. So you can take the questions from Ahrefs or wherever you've sourced them, right? You could also, if you just wanted to do this for free, you could use a Google Alphabet Soup method. I've got a link to that inside my free course, link in the comments and description if you need more information on about that. But basically, we can plug the keywords from here into bulk generate mode inside auto blogging. Now, one thing I want to say right here, and we've got to get this straight out of the bat before we even look at creating the content, is that we will be refining this content. So we're not going to publish it straight onto the domain straight away. We're going to create the content as a rough draft, as a spine for the content. And then once we've done that, we will quality control it using the Goldilocks SEO checklist, right? So this is the golden shield, I call it. And inside here, we have the quality control checklist. As you can see, the Goldilocks zone. And this basically just makes sure that your content is the best it can be. So for example, if we take a few keywords from here and we'll just grab a couple, ideally you want to cluster these as well to remove keyword cannibalization. But from here, you would take a few of the keywords, like you can see. Let's take some of the most relevant ones. So we're going to filter out the sort of question ones. We'll take some of these questions. So for example, how to merge two PowerPoint presentations, how to list presentations on CVs, and what is a good tip to prepare for interactive presentations. Or let's take the other one, how to make presentations look better, right? I'm just going to take a couple just to show you an example live on this particular example. But from here, what you would do is you would plug in your article titles into quick mode on auto blogging AI. The reason that I use auto blogging AI, and I was speaking about Corey, I was speaking to Corey Tugberg, for example, on this as well. If you look at one of my previous interviews with Corey, he says that he doesn't really automate content, but the best AI tool for doing that out there is auto blogging because it's focused on semantics, right? And so when you generate content on here, it's not only good for the user, but it's also semantically relevant. And then if you apply the Goldilocks checklist, right, and you get your content in the Goldilocks zone, aka, just like Goldilocks was looking for the perfect porridge, we're after content that's useful, not AI spam, not too time consuming to create, and still actually ranks, right? And you want to find that balance between leveraging AI, creating quality content for the users, and nailing those SEO rankings. So when you're using this process, what you can do is you can just plug that content through quick mode like so. We can add our details into WordPress right here, but you would just draft the content. You're not going to publish it straight away because you want to quality control it. Very important to emphasize that, because we're not creating spam here. We're creating something that's actually useful and valuable to the reader, as well as being something that actually ranks. And then you get the best of both processes, right? And so as we go through this, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. If I'm going too fast for you, feel free to ask. But that's basically how it goes, right? So you can just put in a random project name like so. You can select your language. So you can see all these different languages you can create content with. You can select the length. So usually I just go for like medium. You can choose the tone of voice. So usually I prefer to go with first person tone of voice, and then writing style. It depends on the niche, right? If you're in something that's B2B, like presentation slides, you would probably go for something professional in the tone of voice, because that is the audience you're speaking to. Whereas, for example, if you were targeting, say, something B2C, maybe something like, I don't know, fake tanning lotion, then you would probably go for something a bit more conversational, right? A bit more simplified. And then you can add some FAQs. You can add some images if you want to. Usually I keep the images minimal because I want the page to load faster. And from here, you can also do an automatic SERP analysis, which I would also recommend. And you can auto post to WordPress. But again, put it in draft. Don't put it don't put your content into like a live publish. You want to draft it first. So Pro Article says, which is better, SEO writing or auto blogging? I have had the best results with auto blogging so far. When it comes to websites, I've created 3 different case studies with it. So that is a tool that I would personally recommend. Everyone has their own preferences, but that's what I recommend, right? And then you can just generate the content as I've shown you already. So that is really easy and simple to do. And that's basically the process, right? When it comes to creating the content. So just to recap on the Goldie SEO framework, you basically stake your claim, aka you launch a new domain. Then you're going to mine for gold, aka you find new keywords. From there, you're going to craft your gold mine. So you're using auto blogging to create the content. And after that, you would edit it with the quality control checklist. What does that look like? It's basically this, right? And it's, as I've talked about it, it comes with a video tutorial inside the SOP that I'll give you. And basically, step by step, you can take that rough piece of content and then turn it into something absolutely magical, because you're getting that balance between humans and AI. You're getting the right balance between quality, but also speed. It's a smart way to create the content, but it also generates the spine of your content quickly too. And so, you start out with the keywords, then you're going to create an outline, then you're going to make sure you match the search intent. After that, you would make sure, okay, you're demonstrating expertise and authority and everything else. And these are basically all the steps that you can use to improve the quality of your content, including fact checking and everything else. And this process usually takes me about 15 to 20 minutes per article to do, right? So it's not really too long. And you can generate all the content in one click, using auto blogging, and then you just quality control it in 15 to 20 minutes using this process right here per article. That's basically how we go step by step. So after you've quality controlled it, you would then publish it. Now, typically, for example, if you look at these previous websites that we've looked at, we would go for at least 50 articles edited in draft mode before we publish an index, right? So we would try and start with a high level of top authority before we publish the content. The reason that we do that is because if we create a website that's just got like 1 or 2 articles from day one, then it doesn't have a lot of top core authority. If it doesn't have a lot of top core authority, without any backlinks pointing to a new domain with no trust, it's going to be very hard to rank, right? And so this is the process step by step. So you want to make sure that you find the low competition keywords, you create the content with auto blogging. From there, you're going to draft it and edit it and quality control it. Then you would publish all the content with at least, I would say, 50 high quality articles. And from there, you've got a high level of topical authority. You've got a lot of quality content on the website, and it really didn't take much time or money to create. And that's basically how it goes step by step. Now, Kurt says, thank you very much for this quality content and educating us. Can we have a copy of those quality control documents you have, please? Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the quality control document that I'm talking about right now into the comments set. So if you want to copy it, if you want to steal it, if you want to give it to your team, etc., you can. Completely free SOP right there, right? And bear in mind, like, number one, no one talks about this. No one talks about it publicly. No one shares URLs on YouTube. And quite a lot of YouTubers, you've probably seen this over the last sort of 6 months, quite a lot of YouTubers who were previously publishing content were kind of scared, right? They were scared to publish more SEO content. But I kept showing up and I've kept creating this content and I keep showing you URLs, even if they've got a 99% chance of being targeted because they're public case studies, just to help you, because I want to help you and give you as much value as possible, right? Matthew says, how much content do you also have queued up for dripping out before you launch? Yeah, that's a really good question. So what I would do from there, once I've got 50 articles published on the first day one, right? Once we get it indexed, I would then just create one article. So publish one article, make sure it indexes, right? If it doesn't index, then I wouldn't publish any more articles until that page indexes, and then just keep building up from there. But the main thing is your content has to be indexed and it has to be ranking. If it's not doing either of those two things, then I wouldn't keep publishing more and more content, right? So for example, if you look at a website like Forbes.com, they can publish, if we go onto Forbes, and I'll show you an example. So let me pull this up. So we'll go onto Forbes, and we'll look at how much content they can create per day because Google trusts them and because they get crawled and ranked. If we look even over the last 24 hours, they can publish hundreds of articles, as you can see right here, right? Why is that? It's because Google trusts their website. It's because Google ranks their website. And it's also because they have a high crawl budget, right? So Google will assign a high amount of basically crawl budget to rank their website. Whereas, for example, if you're starting a new website, I would start off with a small amount of content, right? One article per day, see if that indexes. If it indexes, great, publish another article and just do it at a very natural, slow rate. Don't be going crazy on that, I would say. So once you've done that, you would then create the content, publish it, etc. Now, the final thing that I want to say, right, is that on these websites that we created, for example, like this one, I wouldn't worry about the design until it starts ranking. And the reason for that is that you don't want to waste any time on stuff that is very low leverage, aka designing your website, until you start getting traffic. When you get traffic, then you can design the website, you can make it look better, you can improve the conversion rate optimization of it, etc. But until that day comes, there's no point wasting even a second on design because it's not going to rank, right? And if it's not getting traffic, absolutely no point. Right? So that's basically how it would go step by step. Now, Frank says, did you say 20 to start with? I said 50 to start with, 50, right? So when I'm creating the content for these sites, we'll go with like 50 minimum, but you want to make sure it's quality controlled, right? So it's not like you're pressing a button and then publishing it, you're drafting it, you hit the button, and then you would quality control it and publish 50 quality controlled articles before you go live. And that's basically how it goes step by step, right? Now, that is the first stage of the process. From there, I would highly recommend that you build backlinks as soon as you can to the website. Why is that? It's because if you don't build backlinks to your website, Google's not going to trust it over time, right? And the more authority you can funnel to that website, the more likely it is to rank. But I wanted to show you DR0 case studies today simply because then I can inspire you. And I know a lot of people struggle with link building. We do have a free link building acceleration session for free. You can just book that, links in the comments and description. But I know a lot of people struggle with link building, so this is a great way to leverage that and to rank without backlinks, as you can see right here. And then once it's ranking, you can generate some backlinks to it. Lily says, would you reindex with an indexer after doing changes on the website? I would say if it's at this point where it's getting a lot of traffic, you don't need to reindex the whole site, because any sort of changes you make to the site, as long as you're like interlinking it carefully, it should be totally fine. Jason says, are these considered rank and rent websites we will be creating, or is this like Amazon niche sites? Yeah, so this website right here, and this isn't like my number one preferred way of monetizing website. I prefer to monetize with, like, for example, info products or a service. But, you know, something like outlookassist.com, it can generate income with ads. It can generate income with affiliate. It's not a rank and rent website, but it is just an easy way to get a website ranking in the fastest, simplest way I know possible, right? And so that is a Goldie SEO framework, the 24-carat process that we've covered right here. So just to recap, we've covered 3 Midas touch case studies, as you can see right here. We've got the 24-carat process for creating and launching a website. And what I want to just quickly summarize is the Goldilocks launch strategy, right? So you create, you draft, you edit, and then you launch on day one for indexing, aka sending it through Google Search Console. By the way, if this video is helping you, feel free to just smash a like on it, just so that we can reach more people. And I appreciate everyone who's asking questions so far. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the process. Some people are going to say, like, isn't this spam? But as I've talked you through, we've got the golden shield, the anti-spam guarantee, because if you implement everything from this recipe right here, you are not spamming. You're creating something of value that's actually useful to the people, right? And Goal says, live on a Sunday. Damn, arrived late. We'll watch the replay for sure. Yeah, this will be available for replays along with all my live streams, and appreciate you being on. So thank you, Goal. See you on a lot of them. So I just want to clarify right here. Some people are going to say, you know, is this spam? But with the strategies I've talked about, using quality control, and I've given you a checklist to edit your content so it can be the best it can possibly be, right? So it's not spam at all. The other thing I would say is, in my free course, I also have loads of quality control checklists and, you know, videos on that and workflows. And if you watch any of my videos from, say, like even just the last week, you'll see how I quality control the content step by step. And this is just about using the best of AI and the best of humans to create the best content, which makes sense to me if you ask me. Kurt says, had success with human AI content and have been algo proof. Since the update, we'll be targeting those optimized to rank for the keyword. In which area do you think we should focus more from here on? Depends on the website. If you want to book in a free one-to-one SEO strategy session for that, then feel free to shout. Or if you just want to send the URL on the chat, I know a lot of people like to prefer to keep it quiet. Then if you do want to post your URL on the chat, I can take a live look at it right now, and I can give you a cheeky breakdown with Ahrefs, and I can just audit your site live on the call right now. Just send you our URL. But if you want to keep it private, then just book in a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, and we can look at your website without revealing it to the whole of YouTube and the whole of the internet. So as I've talked about, you've got the golden shield, the quality control checklist, and yeah, that's basically it. The one thing that I want to say about right now, right, just something to bear in mind, and this will probably happen, so I just want to just put it out there before anything goes wild, right? These sites, I can almost guarantee with 99% certainty, will get clapped because they're case studies, right? So if they get de-indexed later on, I'm telling you now, that's because they're public case studies, right? If you reveal your URLs on YouTube, you can fully expect that those websites will get taken down. They will be de-indexed, they will be targeted, and that's totally fine with me. I just wanted to help you, and that's the sacrifice we make to help people on YouTube. The other thing that I would say is that people involved didn't want me to show you this, but I have to share it with you because, you know, it's pretty good stuff. And, you know, I know things have been tough for SEOs. I know that a lot of people have lost hope in SEO this year. And I want to inspire you with actual proof that with 3 different case studies, we already got this ranking. So living the absolute dream right here. And Frank says, keyword or title to write about with AI. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but basically, yeah, you would just plug in the keyword into auto blogging and then create the content, right? So if you've got that question from Ahrefs, you take that question keyword, you plug it into auto blogging, and then you can generate the content from there directly. Now, like I talk about, everything that I talk about today is going to be available in a SOP Link is in the comments and description to my free course. So if you want to get free access to this, you can. And yeah, this is basically it. Now, if you have any questions before we go, feel free to ask them. But that's essentially how we can get this ranking and how the whole process has worked. So one thing I'm just going to share as well quickly is how to get access to the notes from today. So if you want to get access to the notes and the SOP and everything like this, what I'm going to do is I will make this section right here shareable so you can see. And we're going to put that into my free SEO course, which bear in mind, like most people would charge, thousands of dollars for a course like this. We just give it to you for free. There's over 100 tutorials, lessons, SOPs, and 200 ChatGPT prompts inside this section. And if we go into the SEO system section right here, you're going to find a new section called the Goldie SEO framework, right? So we'll put that in right here. We'll hit save. And if you want to implement this yourself, if you just want to see exactly what, all of the case studies, etc., I've actually got the Ahrefs links directly inside there, and we'll put that directly into the video notes right here. So let me show you an example, SOP, there we go, right? We'll hit save on that, and that is published, right? So just go to SEO Systems, free course, links in the comments and description, Goldie SEO framework. Everything is right directly in there. Now, Jason says, if I heard you right, this is more AdWords and affiliates. Absolutely. But it can work, for example, with anything, right? So for example, if you're ranking for question related keywords related to your niche, then you could be an e-commerce company and you could monetize that website. The main thing is that you can get traffic however you want, right? So this would work for agencies. It would work for example, Rank and Rent. It could also work for info products, coaching programs, anything that requires traffic from SEO. You can use a similar process and emulate the same results as you can see right here. And it's a very simple process, right? There's nothing like mind-blogging. You don't need to be like a semantic SEO expert to get this right. You just follow the steps. Grind Now Nation says how to get backlinks if you are very new in blogging. So I've actually got a whole section inside my free course on how to get backlinks. So if you want to learn exactly how to do that, check out the free course. Let me show you exactly how I do it, right? So what I typically do, and I'll show you some examples. Let's check out another example like juliangoldie.co.uk, right? Here's an example of how you can get backlinks. Basically, the way that I see link building, and I'll put this inside the notes just so that I can answer stuff for you as well. So we'll put this inside the notes for you, just so that you've got my notes so you don't need to take them. So if we look at some of the backlinks that we've got to juliangoldie.co.uk, which I fully expect to get de-indexed as well, so I'm sure that will happen at some point. But if you look at this website, right, the way that we get backlinks typically is from other pieces of content, right? So if we scroll down the list right here, you can see that we get backlinks from other websites directly to ours. And that's basically how we get backlinks. So all you need to do is just reach out via cold email and ask other websites in the same industry as you to link to you, right? And it's pretty simple. Just ask via cold email for backlinks from sites in the same industry or sites that have posted about similar topics, right? So if we look at these examples, for example, like this backlink right here, you can see that we have a backlink from a page about SEO, and this is pointing to our page about SEO. Right? That's basically it. Simple as that. Now, you might be saying, okay, but how do I find relevant sites in the same industry as me? Well, let's say I'm in the SEO space. I can type in SEO like this. I can go into Google, and I like to do this via Ahrefs normally, but I just want to show you a free way to do it if you're a beginner. You can go filter by the past month and then just scroll through and find relevant websites that have talked about SEO as well, right? Now, the main thing to note here as well is that not everyone is going to link to you. And the more authority and the bigger that website is, the less likely they are to link to you. So you want to find smaller websites that most people haven't heard of so that you can get a backlink from them. You can see a couple of examples right there, right? That's basically how it goes. So if you want to get backlinks, that's basically how we do it. Now, if you want to get my free book on SEO link building, which comes with my best strategies on how to build backlinks, let me find an example. So this is the link building mastery ebook. And I'll plug that inside the SOP from today. So if you want to get access to my book, Link Building Mastery, so you can see right here, which comes with all of these strategies. And I personally wrote this book to help you get backlinks. I'll put that inside the document right there, right? You can get free access to it right there. Hey says, yo, bah, that's what I'm talking about. Yo, boy. And Chelsea says, after one post is getting indexed, how much content volume would you target? So from there, I would gradually build up, right? So if I got, say, one page index that's brand new, then I would publish another one and just stick with one a day. If after a week or so they're all getting indexed and they're ranking consistently, then I would publish more and more. Maybe I would ramp up to 2, right? And you just warm it up slowly. I don't know if you ever done, like, for example, link building or cold email, but what you do is you start off by sending 5 emails a day, then the next week you're going to do 10, then the week after you're going to do 15, etc. And it's the same with SEO. Like, for a brand new domain, you want to make sure that your content is getting indexed, so just publish 1 a day. And then if that works, maybe you go up to 2, right? And you slowly do it. You don't need to overdo it. And bear in mind, you don't need to publish a lot of content. You just need to get traffic to the content you actually create. That's the main mindset right there. Frank says, spin off the agency site into subsites, new domains. You can do, absolutely, if you wanted to. The main thing I would say here, though, is that the more websites you have, the more complexity you bring into your life, right? So if you are not getting that much traffic from the first site you've built, don't go off and start building like 100, right? I don't think that's the best way to do it. I think from my own experience, it's always better to stay focused, simplify. For example, Frank, if you have one website, but it's not getting that much traffic, then just focus on that one website and then move on from there gradually over time once you've got a team and that sort of thing. Otherwise, things get quite messy and complex. Daniel says, can we outrank a high DA macro site in the SERP with a micro niche EMD domain with topical authority? Is it possible? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, for example, if you look at a lot of my case studies, like if you go on YouTube and you check out some of my case studies, what you'll see over time is that quite often we outrank big websites inside the SERPs just by being hyper targeted with the content, right? So for example, if you look at my recent case studies, like let's look at Perplexity. I actually turned that into a blog recently. If we type that into Google, you can see that my YouTube video, which is hyper targeted to the keyword, is outranking Search Engine Journal, which is like one of the most authoritative websites in the niche, right? Same for this. For example, my hyper targeted article on juliangoldie.co.uk is outranking LinkedIn and Reddit because it's super targeted to the niche and because it has topical authority plus backlinks. That's the name of the game. And that's what it's all about, really, I would say. So let's keep going. Andika says, insane. This is high-level SEO skill, but you share it for free. 2 thumbs up for you. Thank you very much. That's super kind. I really appreciate it. Doctor Who Design says, can I ask a question? Feel free to type in any questions that you have. Good vibes only, though. That's the thing that I would say is keep it positive, keep it happy. And Tourist Spot 10 says, should we make free backlink or paid in start? I would just go with free backlinks, right? So for example, what you'll see a lot of agencies do is quite often they do pay for backlinks because they have to get a lot of backlinks. They have to hit deadlines. You know, they're under a lot of pressure and they're trying to reach a lot of people. But if you just have, say, one website, it is absolutely 100% possible for you to get free backlinks, right? As an example of that, let me show you some examples right here. So juliangoldie.co.uk, we get a lot of free backlinks. So let me pull up an example right here. So you can see this example from nichepursuits.com, and they have linked to my website, juliangoldie.co.uk, right? And I didn't pay Niche Pursuits for that backlink. They just linked out to me right there. Why? Because I have good content, right? And so you can see here, this is a DR74 website, 155,000 traffic, right? Really, really good quality link. Did I pay for that? No. When did I start juliangoldie.co.uk? I started it just after March the 5th, right? And so you don't need to pay for backlinks. You can be, you know, a new website and still get free backlinks. And you can get backlinks from niche relevant, powerful websites that actually get a lot of traffic, like you can see with nichepursuits.com. That's the main thing to remember. Frank says, true that. I'll keep things the way it is. Absolutely. That's the thing. Keep it simple. That's what we like. Just stay focused. And let's have a look at this one. So Doctor Who Design says, good vibe question. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for understanding. And says, good vibe question. I'm using Ahrefs and noticed 112 backlinks. 100 of them are spam. I uploaded the text file to block them, but Ahrefs still shows them. How long until I see them go on new website? So we typically don't disavow backlinks. But if you have disavowed backlinks, I would go directly into Search Console to disavow, right? I wouldn't disavow the backlinks in Ahrefs. So if you're trying to disavow backlinks and hide them from your backlink profile, do it in Google Search Console. I wouldn't recommend it in Ahrefs, just from my own experience, right? It's better to go to the source. The source is Google Search Console, my friends. Hope that helps. Clean Shala says the easier content creation becomes, more harsh the algo updates. I wouldn't agree with that necessarily, right? So from what I've seen, it's easier than ever to do SEO, right? And not just for your own website, but across multiple platforms. And so in the day and age that we live in, the way that I see SEO is it's not just like a one website thing, right? And if you look at the way that we rank, for example, for the keyword perplexity AI SEO, you can see that we rank with YouTube, right? We create a really good piece of content on YouTube. And then after that, we create a really good piece of content on my website, right? And after that, we create a really good piece on Reddit, say, and another one on YouTube. And then we'll create another one on LinkedIn and Medium, etc. Right? You can see all my profiles right here. And so I wouldn't say that it's harsh, and I wouldn't say it's unfair and that sort of thing, but I would say that a lot of high quality websites, particularly over the last 12 months, and hopefully the new Google Core update sorts it out, but over the last 12 months, a lot of genuinely helpful, useful websites got torn to pieces, right? And I'll give you one of the worst examples that I've seen. One of my mentors who taught me link building, he had a website in the animals niche, we'll say. I won't say which specific niche it is, but it was in the animals related niche. And he created an amazing website, right? He hired like an absolute expert in that field. Then he bought all the products that he reviewed for thousands of dollars, shipped them out to that expert to get pictures, to get videos, to get the best quality content, right? And so he put a lot of time and a lot of effort into his content. And I can tell you now, since the helpful content update, his site's traffic has gone down at least 90% along with his earnings, right? And so a lot of innocent, good websites got penalized over the last 12 months. Dano says does, okay. And Chelsea says long-winded, but since you don't rate expired domains, would this work with starter sites from the typical marketplaces, F&M, to get instant results? It might do. It's just that when I've bought expired domains in the past, didn't work for me, didn't rank for me. Whereas the case studies, and you'll see this consistently throughout all my videos over time, the case studies where I create websites on new domains seem to rank way better, way faster, and more consistently, right? And so that's why I recommend just new domains. And you know, you can make it work. I know people, for example, like Matt Diggity and other people like that, and you know, ODYS, they obviously have a very high quality product, but it's just not worked for me personally. And for me, I'm not a SEO, right? I'm only going to talk about the things that I have experience in and the things that worked really well for me. And so if I give any advice, it's going to be based on facts, not opinions. And so it's going to be based on my own experience, and you can see my own experience today. Doctor Who says, I did it in Google Search Console. I'm just using Ahrefs to track them. Why do I still? I would give it a bit more time. Give it a bit more time, honestly. And also, what I would also say is, like, for me, typically, I don't worry about low quality backlinks because they usually get ignored, right? Like, if it's just a trashy backlink, they usually get ignored. The only time that I typically disavow backlinks is when there's a clear correlation between trashy backlinks and, you know, SERPs and traffic dropping. If the SERPs and the traffic are dropping over time, then at that point, I'm going to disavow the backlinks. But until then, I'm not going to disavow them at all. Daniel says, does DA matter in terms of backlinks? Should we focus on getting backlinks from high DA sites, or basically how to figure out the best and high quality backlinks? All right, I'm going to give you the short answer. I'm going to give you the long answer. And I'm also going to show you what to avoid based on my own experience as well. Okay. Love talking about backlinks. Nothing better than doing this on a Sunday evening, talking about links. Love it, right? So when it comes to link building, right, the shortest way to look at this, the shortest, fastest, easiest way to do this, because, you know, for example, for most people, they don't have a lot of time to invest into backlinks. Just ask yourself, is this a natural, relevant backlink from a website I want to be associated with? If yes, then build the backlink. If no, don't build the backlink, right? That's a simple rule. If you want to complicate it more than that, if you want to go into more granular detail, here is the 42-point SEO checklist, which I'll drop into the SOP right here. based on what works for our SEO agency, right? And so we really meticulously go through the backlinks for our clients simply because we want to get them the best backlinks possible, right? So for example, these are some of the things that we filter and check in terms of link relevance, link checking procedures. You know, we have 3 people check the backlinks before they build them. We have a rejection criteria, as you can see right here, and we have general link building guidelines too, right? And so with this 42-point checklist, which I've included inside the SOP, with that checklist, then you can get the best quality backlinks you can, right? Now, at the same time, I want to show you examples of places where you can get super high DA websites, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're good. And the way that I see this, right, is that Ahrefs, they have a really good metric for domain, you know, for judging backlinks, which is DR, domain rating. It is useful, but it's useful with common sense. So for example, if you see like a DR80 website, that doesn't necessarily make it better than a DR30 website, because it also depends on the quality of the site. How do you check the quality of the site? You either go through the 42-point checklist I talked about, or at the same time, you use a simple rule that I talked about a minute ago. Is it natural? Is it relevant? And do I want to be associated with them? That's basically it. Now, in terms of things to avoid, let me show you some stuff that you don't want to do, right? Because you can get free DR90 free backlinks like that. You can get, you know, for example, let me show you a couple of examples in a minute, but you can get DR90 free backlinks for free. And I'll show you an exact replica example right here. So if we go onto, for example, like imdb.com, you can build backlinks like this inside the profile. Free DR90 free backlink. Obviously, IMDb gets a ridiculous amount of traffic, gets millions of traffic. And so some people might think, oh, that's a great backlink. But the problem is, if no one editorially adds the backlink, if no one goes into their website and has to edit it, then it has no value, because anyone can build this backlink. Anyone can go onto IMDb, as you can see right here, and they can build a free do follow backlink, as you can see right here. But the problem is it's total trash. Why is it total trash? Because there's no editorial process in place for building it. The same with, for example, Fiverr backlinks. So, you know, some of these sites, you know, you could get a backlink from sites.google.com or penzu.com or whatever these trashy backlinks are, right? These are backlinks that we ordered off Fiverr as a fun case study to showcase that these backlinks are not good. And if you go onto the site, as an example of that, and we'll look at this particular example from a Fiverr backlink, you can see it's just rubbish. Like, no one's going to read that page. It's not connected to anything else. It's not interlinked to anything else. And it's not editorially added, aka no one had to go into their site and add it. So that's what I would avoid. And I hope that answers your question. I think I've answered it in 3 different ways right there. Ashish says how to start SEO for lead generation. So I would check out my free course. And if you go to the free course, in fact, do you know what? I'll give you free access to my agency course right now. So if you want to get free access to my agency course that is based on what's helped us scale our revenue, so you can see right here, it comes with all the same prompts, the tried and tested systems, and it's based on real case studies and proven examples from me. If you want to get free access to that right now, then I'm going to include that inside my free SOP right here, right? So you can see agency course, link to it right there. And that shows you exactly how to do SEO for lead generation. Paul says, what's up, Julian? When you say that SEO is easier than ever, do you mean it's easier to rank, or that the overall processes of SEO is easier? I would say both, right? For me, it's never been more fun and easy to do SEO because of AI. And if you implement a lot of the systems that I talk about on this channel, you can get absolutely amazing results with SEO, right? You know, for example, there are great tools out there, like, for example, autoblogging and these sort of tools. And it's really easy to start a website these days. Back in the day, bear in mind, like if you wanted to build out a website with 50 pages, you would have to hire a human writer, and that would cost like thousands of dollars. You'd have to manage them, and you'd have to train and coach them, and that would require a lot of time too. You'd have to vet their work carefully. Plus, you'd have to build custom-made SOPs for your website and for the writer with editorial guidelines, right? And that would require a lot of time as well. Now, you don't need to worry about any of that, because you've got that quality control checklist, which I'm giving you. And most courses out there charge you thousands of dollars for stuff like that. And then at the same time, you can generate content really easily and just quality control it quickly, right? And so you have a massive head start, say, versus if you were competing with someone who was doing SEO 5 years ago, it would be almost impossible for them to outrank you if you were implementing the right systems. Martin says, hey, Julian, I entered your giveaways and followed every instruction, but somehow don't get the docs. Can you speak on that? So if you send me an example of the tweet that you sent, I will take a look. And if it's from more than 24 hours ago, you should have received a response. If you haven't received a response, I will take a look at it. Otherwise, just DM me with whatever document you want, whatever training you want, and we'll get right back to you on Twitter. Right? But either way, just let me know. And Jason says, Sunday evening, where you at? We're getting there. I've just come out the ice bath, actually, Wim Hof style. So I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling ready to go. And it's a great time to do a live stream. Doctor Who Design 5. Oh, thanks very much, sir. Yeah, thank you very much. It's super kind. I really appreciate that. And that's super kind. And Martin says, oh, I think that's the same question as before. M-Tree says, trading. I create my posts with SEO writing. Should I check them with AI detector? So just run through the SEO checklist. That's what I would recommend, right? If you run through the SEO checklist, it covers, like, for example, AI detection, how to handle that, how to fact check and everything else. And if you use that, you can get good results. Tourist Spot 10 says, we can show one quality backlink, our website, how you make. Yeah, so I actually have a training, very, very comprehensive, directly on YouTube. If you want to see exactly how I build backlinks, including live campaigns, you can check that out inside my YouTube channel right here. Here's a link to the training. So it's called How to Get Free DR90 Backlinks. It is a 4.5-hour training on how to build backlinks. If we actually go into that, I'll copy the link and then I'll put it inside the video notes from today as well. So you can see it's plugged in, it's locked in right there. Let's keep going now. So Tourist Spot 10 says, if you can share quality free backlink list. Yeah. So if you want to get the SOP from today, like I say about, just get the free SEO course, go to SEO systems, and then go to the Goldie SEO framework, and you'll find it directly in there. Jatong, that's a difficult one to pronounce, says, are there any good AI detector tools? Yeah, I actually include one inside the quality control checklist, so you can check that out using the Goldilocks framework. Daniel says, how can I get access to your 42 points sheet? So it is directly inside this document here, right? So you can see the 42-point checklist, as you can see. And if you just get the free course, links in the comments and description, you can get the free course. And then from there, go to SEO systems. And from there, go to to Goldie SEO. That's basically it. John says AI detection is an interesting area for readability and keywords. New starter concerns are a big one. Absolutely. Hijitong says, is SEO outdated? Absolutely not. So like I was showing you a second ago, if we go on to Google right here, and we'll put something like, for example, Perplexity AI SEO, which you can see people are searching for directly in the autocomplete. SEO is not outdated. As you can see, we are ranking with this video. We're ranking with my website right here. We're ranking with another video. Then we're ranking with LinkedIn. Then we're ranking with Medium. Then we're ranking with YouTube, right? And so SEO works better than ever. And bear in mind, this was just created from a month ago, as you can see. So this stuff, it ranks. It ranks really, really well. There's another example of that. For example, if we go directly into Perplexity, which I think is the next generation of AI, right? I think it's the next generation of SEO. I think that, in the future, we're not necessarily going to be trying to rank directly in traditional search engines. We're going to be trying to rank directly inside AI models like this. How do you do that? Well, let me show you an example. So if we put Perplexity AI SEO into Perplexity right here, you can see two of my videos popping off right there, along with other examples inside the recommendations. Yeah. And so it's so easy. It's not outdated. It works better than ever. And Daniel says, should we care about AI detection in different tools? Whereas my content is great, valuable, and that's great readability. But since it's AI generated, mostly tools says it is AI generated. Well, I mean, I'll give you an example, right? It depends how much you care about the website, because everything in business, is a risk-based decision, which means that it's your choice how much risk you want to take. So, for example, like for some people, they really don't care about the risk, and so they'll go super hard, but at the same time, they risk their results. Whereas there'll be some clients that we work with who absolutely do not want to take the risk of any AI content at all. They're just scared of it. They're scared of it. They don't want to touch it. And so for them, what we do is we sell human written content via our agency directly to them. And so it's really down to your risk tolerance, and it's really down to what you think will happen in the future. Having said that, if you look at Google now, Google is generating AI answers. Google generates AI responses with Google AI overviews, right? And they trust that process so much is that they've rolled it out to, for example, Japan. They've rolled it out to India, the United Kingdom. They wouldn't do that unless they thought AI content was genuinely good. So just something to bear in mind right there. So I've answered every single question inside the comments right there. Amazing questions. Appreciate everyone who's been on today. Had a lot of fun showing you the case studies from today. You've seen all the evidence. I've shown you all the methods. As promised, I've shown you 3 different case studies of AI sites ranking better than ever, going to the moon. I've shown you the whole process. I've given you the whole recipe, and I've talked you through every single element of it as promised to you today. So hope it helped. Lily says, thanks, Julian. Happy to help. John says, thanks very much. Happy to help as well. And if you want a free one-to-one SEO strategy session about how to get more leads, traffic, and sales with SEO, feel free to put that in. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors per month and generate thousands of dollars in sales. Feel free to put that in. Links in the comments and description. You get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets of link building, we'll answer any questions that you have. You'll learn the best link building strategies for your website. You learn how to quickly outrank your competitors. You learn how to increase your SEO traffic. That is completely free. You know, normally people will charge you like thousands of dollars for that. I'm just, number 1, giving you all the case studies. Number 2, giving you all the strategies. And number 3, if you want it custom tailored on a one-to-one call, you can get that free directly in the comments. Jason says, big jewels for the win. That's what we're talking about. And if you want access to the whole SOP and framework that I've talked about today, including the Goldie SEO framework, the Midas Touch case studies, the example of the 24-carat process, and also the Goldilocks launch strategy along with the Golden Shield, then feel free to get that. Link is inside the comments description to the free course. Just go to SEO systems and then go to Goldie SEO framework as I've shown you today. Danielle says, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Happy to help too. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure today. Really appreciated it. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.